give another round of applause for the Starr's Mill High School Panther Pride Marching Band. And the grand champion of the second annual Northwest Georgia Championship with a score of 94.75 is the Starr's Mill Band.
We won the Northwest Georgia band championship. There were 15 bands there. Technically, we were supposed to be either in AA or AAA, but to become more competitive, we went up to the top class and competed with bands that were sometimes 2 and 3 times our size.
That moment of silence when he says, "I'm the grand champion," that's just everybody's dead silent, and then you hear them say Starr's Mill High School Panther Pride. It's just fantastic feeling because you've put so much blood, sweat, and tears into making this show happen, and it's finally paid off.
The students have been performing really well the last 2 weeks, so we knew it was well within their grasp. We're more excited that the judges got it right this time. We have right now a 33% success rate in winning contests, and when I say winning the contest, that's the best band that day. So there could be anywhere from 12 to 30 bands. Through the last 17 years, about 15 of those, I have composed or arranged music for this band. And each year it changes. The students love being different. They love that we're not doing the same thing that other bands are doing, that they know that these are tailor-made for just them that year.
So Mr. King told me about the solo, like before he even knew like about the show. He's like, "You're gonna have a solo, and it's gonna be really cool." And I'm like, "All right, dope." And then at band camp, he gave me the actual solo, and it was based off of Miles Davis' Kind of Blue album. One of the songs in there, it's like the same exact chord progression. I don't know, it's cool.
We try to work towards perfecting the show. That's winning. When they come off the field, they know they've done the very best performance they could do. That's winning to us.
This year, particularly with the trombone solo, he wanted to write a solo that fit my range and my skill level. I played around with some of the notes and some of the rhythms, and I really got to feel for it. I've improved my range at least 5 to 6 notes, which is insane.
There'll be 24 seniors leading. And not only 24, but we have some really strong leaders in that senior class.
It has been such a rewarding time as a band captain, as a marcher, section leader, making friends, all of it. The kind of discipline we practice is almost indescribable.
I feel like we have taught them how to commit to something, how to fully follow through, and I think that's a great life skill.
I was just realizing how much it will impact my life and how much it already has impacted my motivation for any skill set that I want to pursue.
What we're asking the students to do musically, visually, and everything in between is so much more than what most bands are asking.
It's a long process and it takes so much work and effort, and everyone's working towards the same goal, so it just makes it worth it. And we try to have as much fun as we can, so we can do a lot of things if we put our mind to it. It's just that's how Starr's Mill works.
And it becomes a yearly quest to do the very best show that we can do.
At first, my goal actually wasn't to be drum major. It was to be section leader. That's what I really wanted to do because I loved marching. So I felt like it'll kind of boost my confidence if I try out for drum major. And then as I started taking more lessons and going along with the process of auditioning, I got more in love with the position, and it was meant to be.
We think 8th grade night is important because it's a chance for the 8th graders to come over to the high school and intermingle with the high schoolers during rehearsal and during a football game. Be a part of the marching band, be a part of the experience of the high school game. And we really think that's important because they're really starting to think about what kind of activities they're going to have in high school, and we want band, of course, to be one of those activities, especially marching band. Kind of gives them a chance to rub elbows and do some things with them. before making those kind of decisions. One of the most prolific composers, recognizable composers, Beethoven.
Fearless, Moonlight Sonata,
Da, 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 Moonlight Sonata,
the Ode to Joy.
Ode to Joy.
Yeah, everybody knows
Which,
that one.
yeah, and we did that a good while back.
Was it Beethoven 5?
Yeah, Symphony Number 5. Yeah, to me, that's probably the most iconic. This year we did, we did 4 movements and it ran long, so I want to just do 3.
I absolutely agree.
That way we'd have more time to get the pit on and off during ball games.
Mm-hmm.
At least one less minute of working on everything, clean us up faster.
Yep. Give us a little bit more time for electronic setup and tear down.
Mm-hmm.
That might be cool to keep going through Fearless and occasionally just insert that bum 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 within Fearless.
Oh, okay, in the opener?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even have it be a running theme throughout the show.
You know, that's a good idea.
Overlay
Almost
it.
like a leitmotif that's going through.
Yeah, that just overlays
That's
occasionally.
Cool. If we could create a visual motif that always goes with that too.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Uh-huh. So every time that you hear that, you're seeing it too.
Right.
Yeah.
Latin jazz is always a
Latin-
fun style.
You know, we've not done that in a while. And then that lends itself really well visually, obviously, because a lot of it's derived from dance. I don't want to say I want to play it safer, but I want to be a little more in the box with tempos. So which do you think are around like 110 to 130 in that range? The rumba?
Yeah, the rumba and the son tuno.
Uh-huh.
The cha-cha's a little slower.
So maybe start layering, I would layer winds and you can layer percussion
Right.
from that, from that slow. And then again, maybe it speeds up each phrase.
Yeah. Or does it just be just a 12/8 blues?
Yeah. Kind of like what we did with the battle this year. We just started layering, but we could increase it until we get to maybe a slow blues shout section.
I'll have to see how Blue Devils wrote all their stuff when they were getting all the credit for swinging on the field.
Right. But I think that would be really cool visually too with the guard.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a lot of seniors in the guard, like half the guard easily.
So more like pocketing as far as trading the tempo or the melody around.
Yeah, like kind of what we did for the opener this year.
Yeah.
How about like fusion or modern jazz? Well, modern jazz. So it's driving.
Okay.
Like Birdland. Boom, boom. So
it does have that forward energy to it.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or the Headhunters album with Herbie Hancock. Chick Corea has done some cool fusion
That's
stuff.
right. And a lot of people have done him on the field. All right, so we have our 3 themes. I'll sketch out, because I always sketch out a piano score first.
Yeah, piano sketch.
And then orchestrate from there. High school shows are starting to get dark and brooding. We don't want to ever do that. We want to be entertaining. But I like a melody. I'm old enough. It's how we want to manipulate those melodies into different styles. I go through and make a roadmap. Intro, and then stating the melody, and then if any kind of percussion break, which would be really fun with this style. And then counter melody, how I want to manipulate that. And so it flows, so the pacings make sense. I write the drill too, so I think, okay, logistically they're going to need this in order to transition, or can I have both elements ready to go as soon as that melody ends and the next melody starts? And sometimes we get on the field and we're like, nah, this is taking too long, or this didn't develop long enough. We change it. That's one of the beauty in me writing the music, Bert writing the percussion music, and then me writing the drill, is that we have total control over it. So we can change it at will, but we have nobody to blame but ourselves when it doesn't work out. I'm going to experiment a little bit more this year because we have good enough players, modulation and things like that. Then I orchestrate after I establish a key. And there are occasions where, okay, I know I want this instrument to play this melody because I want to spread it out throughout the show. I don't want just the trumpets having the melody the whole time, or just a certain instrument have a solo.
So what we kind of do with 8th grade orientation, like whenever anyone hears the word color guard, they're like, oh, the cool people with the flags in the field. But we use the 8th grade night to just show them, like, this is what we do, and it's just a really great experience. We all have fun doing it. The senior captains get to design it, and we pick a song we want to do it to. It's about a minute and a half, and we'll incorporate parts of our show or new work we want to try out. And our goal is to try and get as many people interested as possible. And this past year, we had 11 people decide to join, so it was a really good year for it.
This is our first annual Band on the Run. It is our second largest and may become our largest fundraiser for the band. This supports all the band programs from marching band to all the concert bands as well.
We're really excited about our race. It's a 2K, a 5K, and a 7K, which there's no races in Fayette County that offer 3 different races like that. And it's also at night, so there's going to be lots of lights on the course. Another novelty of our race is that you're going to hear bands all along the course as our students are out here performing, and we love that. This race so far has raised about $12,000. It has taken off so well this first year with our donations, and we've had a lot of amazing sponsors, and our band family has really worked hard to get those sponsors, so we're just super excited about it.
We have changed the styles a little bit, so we're now doing an Afro-Venezuelan style. Lots of E's and some U's, but there is some downbeats and upbeats for the kids to hang on to. This is about 10-15 clicks faster, so it's going to be more energetic. It's going to be really cool with the guard too, because we just finalized their costume design, so they're going to be doing some really creative things with the skirt and lots of dance. I want this section, then I want this section, and then I connect them with musical ideas to create effects. Even though I got lots of accidentals, I don't really worry about keys yet until I get the sound I want, and I'm modulating up. Yeah, so that's just going up just to add some direction to it. And right here is something we can have a trade-off, winds, digga-digga-digga-digga, or piano, digga-digga-digga-digga. And I'll look at the key again. All right, so how does that look? I try to keep the valved instruments into one finger, so it's very clean. So sometimes key of F, key of B flat is the best choices for that. Yeah, see, you don't want it to be natural, so I'm probably going to change the key here. Initially, getting the pacing, getting the structure first. All right, so macro, and then I go through, and then I detail it. I can easily see the piano player doing this as we're laying down this big chord here. So let's hear that again. I like that. Yeah, and that's cool. I might do this after the little drum break here, because that will allow me to change the drill. So I write the drill, so I'm thinking visually. Actually, I could move them here and be in position when they play this. That'd be cool. So they'd be in position here. So what I want to do is I want to put them in pairs. A trade-off. So when they play, they're resting. When they play, they're resting. Dum bum 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 bum. Here, then that's another way of restating the melody. Bum 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 bum. Love that chord. These chords sound pretty cool, but I'm going to add some more sevenths, ninths, 11ths, some extensions, so they sound even cooler, even more modern sounding. What if Beethoven was from South America and he was writing this today? Setting up for maybe a company front here, some kind of push, Probably change keys. This will be big, more unison rhythms probably. Yeah, again, I'm toying around here with some different ways of ending. So that's Para Elena. Beethoven Sonata number 8, the Pathétique, homage to Count Basie through some of this in a jazz swing style. The first part is in block chords. You take the first alto and the bari, and they're one octave apart, and you fit the other parts in there. It's kind of like barbershop. I'm going to orchestrate it for the whole woodwind section. Very lush, very melodic. Then it'll be kicked off by our drum set player in the back, and then it'll go into a swing style, and then we'll have a saxophone solo with some wind accompaniment. There's the tuba, the walking bass, have our piano player play the bass in the left hand, comp it on the right hand. The saxophone soloist is going to play the melody. He's going to hint at the melody, but he's going to do all kinds of different ornamentations. Later I'll get my saxophone and play around with it just to make sure it's idiomatic. I'll make sure that all the winds have a chance to kind of get warmed back up. And then slow down into some dirty swing. I can do, it's going to be just awesome. And again, what you're not hearing is the driving rhythm of the percussion. And I try to leave space for Bert to put that in.
So I take his file and import it into Sibelius and change all the voicings through my mixer. And then I just do a lot of listening before I start writing any percussion stuff. And usually he'll just give me straight quarter notes or something very simple to indicate when he wants percussion playing. Right now, this is still in its infancy. And so I just start generating ideas. This year in particular, because I've got a drum set player and 2 rack players and all the mallet instruments plus all the things that are attached to them, it's a little bit more complicated. So first I make my list of what they're going to play, and then I start to map it out on a staff for what it's going to look like visually. I'm ready to start putting it all in the computer so that I can literally just play the instrument and get percussion sounds. And so what I have to do for this one, because it's so involved, I went in and I actually created a new instrument for each student. So I created a new staff type, and I mapped it so that when I need to hear the sound that for him is a break drum, all I have to do is hit C2. So I create the new note head, I put it where I want on the staff, and then down here I can choose what pitch. So I have to do that for each student individually, and so it takes a while, but then once I get it all in place, I can play. It's just a matter of remembering what note is assigned to what sound. And then as far as the mallet instruments are concerned, my rhythms happen up here on the number pad, and my pitches happen here, so that I can write a mallet part. For instance, let's say I want to do 16th notes, and
it's just some cool chords at the end. Yeah, and we'll just shout it out there at the end. That's a great key too, key of E flat. Tubas sound great on that. Woodwind fingers, everybody can play, woodwinds can play 2 octaves on that, so I can really have some screaming high clarinets. Bum, 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 that's the most iconic. We're going everywhere with it. Totally off the beaten path for this, because the audience will be able to hang with it because they'll know that motive. It's almost like Beethoven is going on a ride. We basically take a hiatus until it's time for band camp. with the expectation that they get together in sections and they work on some marching, they work on some playing, but primarily do some fun activities for some bonding time to get to know each other, especially the rookies, and start to develop that teamwork, because basically when they're out on the marching field, they're working for each other. So when we come back as a band at the end of July, then it's a lot more cohesive.
I am the color guard instructor here at Starr's Mill. My first year was the fall of 2017. Lucky enough to be able to be in front of these kids every day. They have the passion and the drive for this sport. Trying to clean work and get them all together, keep them motivated, keep their fire burning. We realize with the more training we give the kids and the more veterans we have and the more training the rookies get each year, the level of difficulty gets higher each year.
One of the reasons why we have those rehearsals in May is so the students can understand what's going to be expected of them. So that will give them the summer to eat better, the summer to get out and exercise and do some things in the heat. That's a rude awakening once we get to band camp, but we hit the ground running, so you got to be physically prepared for that. Once we come back, we typically have 2 weeks of camp. We have a color guard percussion camp usually first, and then the wind players field tour in, and that's about an 8 to 4 day. And then the next week is full band camp, where we go 8 in the morning to 7 at night. And we're in Georgia. It's very humid. It's very hot. So part of what we do is conditioning. So marching band is a lot like adding layers, many responsibilities at the same time. During camp, we start learning our drill. And our drill is basically formations, but it's very musical. It goes with the music and the phrasing. And we try to do different things to make it look like the music sounds. There's tick marks that basically divides the football field into a grid, X and Y axis. And at any particular count, the student is supposed to be in a certain place as part of that picture. We teach them how to read the coordinate sheet. Those are called coordinate sheets. We do one set, then we do another set, and then we put it together. It's like little puzzle pieces, very incremental. And then we'll do multiple sets. It might be a musical phrase or a chunk. Over the years, we've developed a style where we have our water thermos for 2 reasons. They use that as a marker for when they want to learn one set and they go back. Also for easy hydration, so we can again develop that conditioning. Once they put that together, then we start talking about music in coordination with that, because they'll have to know where they're going and look good, and then play it. I have a saying that they need to march like they're not playing and play like they're not marching. So when they put it together, it looks very seamless. This year we felt pretty comfortable hiring back some former alumni from Starrsville Band. They are in music or participating in music in college. They went out into the world and got some perspective and came back. They've been very helpful during band camp. We knew that they know how we do things. They were able to pull some other people from their colleges during the afternoon sessions when it's so hot outside. We break into sections and they work on their music. So when we get together as a full band, we can put it all back together.
So some of us that have marched at Starr's Mill in the past are coming back to work, just running sectionals, making sure everything runs smoothly during band camp.
We want to keep promoting the section bonding. So each night, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday night, each section will go to somebody's house and they'll have dinner after our rehearsal. That's a great way for them to bond and do some things together.
Yeah, I was just having the drums over for a sectional and the color guard decided to invade.
So, yeah, I've been here for 4 years. This year we threw the most on them out of any year I've been here. And this group has handled it the best and has improved the most.
So, band camp's been pretty tough this year. Always is, always struggling with that heat. But it is so rewarding when we're out there performing. Definitely worth it. This year we have so many freshmen in color guard, and it's really important having us like upperclassmen to like help lead them and mentor them, because they are getting so much thrown at them, but they're doing such a fantastic job.
Trumpets, do you hear breaks in the sound? Yes, sir. Okay, so object is not breathing. Someone else is breathing. Don't breathe on the water line.
Yeah, there are a lot of days that towards the end, everybody, including the section leaders, start getting tired. That's when we really have to buckle down, because when we buckle down and pay attention, even when we're super tired, it makes it easier when we're normal and awake.
I think I have really high expectations for this season. It's definitely something different than we've done in years past, but it's been going really well. I think everyone's putting a lot of effort this year. Everyone seems excited about it. Our show music's really cool. It's fun.
Band camp this year was super productive. We got a whole lot done in the shortened time that we had. The drill is looking awesome. We're we're just going to be in for a really great season.
The students learned a lot during camp, and I think primarily because we have so many seniors, there was a really good role models. This is the most seniors we've ever had, which was wonderful this year. Next year we'll have to regroup. We have 31 seniors this year. We are depending on them through the year to do the best they can to show everybody what to do before they graduate. One good thing about what we do is we attempt to show off every instrument, every section, every performer. Our kids are so strong. We want to make sure that they have a chance to shine. That helps set us apart. We try to, every single year, try to do something very different than what we've done the year before. Something that's entertaining and educational and competitive. The preview show is something we do every year. It's a culmination of everything we've learned up to that point. Drill and music. It's a great first performance for the kids. The parents are always a great audience to watch their baby go from nothing, especially the rookies, march and play together.
I'm the pit crew chief for the Starrs Mill High School Marching Band, and we are in charge of moving all the band equipment and pit equipment to and from football games, home games, away games, competitions. Our main goal is to get everything there safely and on time, and get it all put together and get it all broken down and get back to the schools, and we have a whole lot of fun doing it. Our marching band resides in Atlanta, south of Atlanta, and a lot of our competitions are north of the city, which we have to deal with a lot of traffic. As the primary driver of the large trailer, we have people that go out ahead of us in cars to check on traffic, and the whole purpose is to get there before the band gets there and have it all ready to go. When you're dealing with electronics, outdoor, weather, humidity, anything, vibration, anything can happen. Things can become unplugged. So we're always on hand to make sure that we can remedy the situation or come up with a solution very, very quickly. Some of the things that we have to do is make sure we get on the field timely and get the band to play and get everything off timely so we don't get penalized. Amongst the 25 people that we have are in charge of different areas, and they make it seem so seamless.
I've done a lot of fabrication since I started with the pit. I've done welding, adding wheels, building the frames to mount the props on. I've helped modify the scaffolding to add wheels to it. And I pulled the nicest truck and trailer.
It's my job to make sure that my rookies and underclassmen are learning their music, learning their sets in the drill, and it's really incredible to see the progress that we've made.
Check it. We have people stepping out of step on the very first step of the company front.
Not only do I have to worry about myself, I also have to worry about the band as a whole and not just my section. But overall, band camp's been really good. We've gotten a lot of stuff done, and it's been neat to just see everyone growing as a marcher and as a player, and just seeing that growth and continuing to challenge them to continue to, keep climbing and just keep going.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about this year. We have a lot more stuff going on. Our marching technique has really changed from the last couple years into my final year. It's more loose, and we add choreography, so I feel like we're a lot stronger, and I'm really excited to see what we can do. I really feel like we can win a lot with this show.
Band camp went really well. There was a lot of ups and downs, but that's what makes it fun, just teaching them what they don't know and helping them grow as an individual and as a group.
The show is going to be so great this year, and the color guard is going to have a lot of beautiful stuff and amazing flags and a lot of dancing, which is really cool.
I've been given this opportunity to be the piano soloist for this upcoming year in band. Mr. King definitely challenged me. They were pretty difficult, but I worked really hard and I was up for the challenge.
I've been really happy with my section this year. Everything's going really, really well. We got to work on some marching technique and a little bit of the playing. Having some trouble just getting everybody passed off, but it's going really, really well. So marching with a tuba in the heat, it's not as bad as you'd think because we spend so much time just with them on.
Of course, I have a solo, and it's pretty exciting since I'll be writing the majority of it based on the chords that Mr. King gives me.
Clarinets.
Well, check this, guys. I don't think I have you that close to my hash, do I? All right, make an arc with these guys. There we go. Yeah, that's what I want. Now I can see the guy. Woodwinds, can we do that, please? So it's going to be a slight arc, not as deep, okay? So don't go back as far. Good, that's much more readable. Good. Very good, guys. Take 2 minutes, grab a drink, come back to here. So what happened was, you were facing before enough, you were work, and you totally disconnected. Did they go their old set or an adjusted form of the new one? I've not changed any of this. None of it. I only changed 2 sets, guys. So Woodwinds, are you coming from a different place? Okay. But you're going to the same set.
We love our parent volunteers. I shudder to think if we had no volunteers, we would be doing nothing. We couldn't even have a marching band. There's absolutely no way. They do so much work for the kids and for me and our staff.
The reason for concessions, they are the top fundraiser for marching band. If I did not make the money that I do in concessions, our band parents would have to pay in excess of $300 extra per student, and it requires about easily 28 volunteers on marching band. I am called the 200% net profit lady, so I went from 13,000 to 17,000 to 21,000, and last year I made about $24,000 net profit.
So we run hospitality for marching band, and we provide tailgates before all the home games. So we will make sure that the kids are fed and hydrated before they go out to perform.
We also make sure that they have the Gatorade for all the practices and snacks for all the practices after school and during marching band camp. And we just want to make sure that they're well fed so that they're happy campers.
Hello, we are the guard moms, so our responsibilities are really anything that deals with the color guard. From this morning we trimmed costumes to hair and makeup and chaperoning.
We're supporting the students on the field, off the field, competition, as well as at the school in practice.
I've been doing the uniforms for the Starr's Mill Band for 4 years now, and our job is to keep the band looking great. We measure them, we put them in the uniforms, we hem them every season. We are in charge of keeping them clean throughout the season, and during the season we support the band during every show. We're there if anything rips, tears, needs to be sewn up, to help them put the plumes on and off their shakos, clean them, put them all back, organize them again for the next season.
One of the things I enjoy about arranging and composing for Starr's Mill is the different genres that I can get into. I was in jazz band in high school, and I really enjoy big band jazz and jazz in general. Jazz is such a big umbrella. There's so much to learn from it, and I'm still a thirsty student for that information. The funk bands of the 70s and that kind of showmanship and that kind of musicality is what I really try to get across to the kids, especially in marching band. One of the things that I try to do always is to be fair and impartial and do what's best for the band. And that gets difficult whenever you have to choose leaders, choose soloists, and sometimes those decisions are welcome, sometimes they're not.
Starrsville High School, Panther Pride.
I have always been interested in music. My parents met in the marching band at Auburn University. In 5th grade is when I got interested in it and started taking lessons and played throughout middle school and high school. And then when I went to Auburn University, I played a lot of hand drums in the steel drum band before I transferred over to Columbus State. At that point was very orchestrally focused and contemporary music focused, my undergraduate and then my master's degree. And throughout those studies, I started learning a lot more about just various composers in such as Charles Warren and Yanis Xenakis. I grew up doing carpentry with my dad, and so I learned to work with my hands, and then that translated to playing instruments with my hands, and then sometimes even creating instruments and having all these varieties, and my ADD kicks in, and that's part of what I love about percussion too, because then I can, focus on mallets one day, but snare drum another day, and then drum set a different day. And as Steve Schick said in a book, The Percussionist's Art, we can have 1,000 different sounds. The problem is we have to have 1,000 different instruments to create those sounds, and so I'm also a collector. My mom was an elementary music teacher, so I guess subconsciously it was indoctrinated in me from day one to give back to the next generation. And then as I got into middle school and high school, my teachers had a profound influence on me and my love of music, all facets of music, not just concert band music or rock and pop, but they loved all of it, and they loved jazz, and they loved funk and Afro-Cuban music. And then I went to college and got even more of that, and really instilled a desire to give back to future generations and make sure that they love and appreciate music.
And then that sets you up for success later when you have this other stuff coming up. Okay, so let's do those two measures again.
Seeing the kids have that light bulb moment, yes, I finally got it. Percussion is just amazing because you can have all these different sounds using different mallets to get different articulations out of things. So, here's one sound, but then if I just use a different mallet altogether, I get a different sound. And then if I use, a really hard mallet, then I get a different sound. And I love exploring those sound options and those colors and just everything that you can do with percussion by finding something different to hit it with.
Yeah, with electronics and amplification, there's a lot that can go wrong, but when it's right, it's really good. Like last Friday, we had an issue with being able to hear the piano and some other things because one cord wasn't plugged in all the way. I can't tell you the hours of lost sleep I've had dealing with electronics these past years while on Bert Gruber. My ignorance is not going to hold us back.
I pretty much do all the sound engineer, audio support for the band. The front line is all the marimbas, chimes. Each unit gets 2 microphones, daisy chained through each other to a trunk DB25 cable that we have going into one side of the cart, and then we have one on the other side. All those cables come and they terminate inside that cart, and then there's a single Ethernet that runs back to the board. So digitally, I'm capturing all of those microphones. We got a digital piano, MacBook on there. For the different sounds, and then we also have the center grandstand piano that you'll see out there. We actually have that plugged straight into that card as well. And then on the back line, we're doing hard physical connections. The soundboard is mounted directly under/behind the drum kit. I believe 7 or 8 microphones that come down on a bundled snake. We have 2 mics on the 2 supporting structures. There's a extra drum added on the front of one of them. We're actually feeding power and signal out to both speakers that sit out on the 40-yard lines. Those have an amplifier that is powering a speaker that sits on top of the subwoofer in addition to another speaker that's sitting on each platform. I've got a little router and I connect the iPad, and then I'm actually digitally controlling it so I can walk around the field and listen for different holes and different things going on in there and try to get a good, consistent, cohesive sound.
They really enjoy the theme of the show, and that's really important to keep their attitude up throughout the entire season. If all of them are used to the work requirement by now, they know pretty much what's expected of them and when they need to be doing it. They're gonna have to get used to the long hours, having to keep up mental energy. Marching and playing wise, they're doing really well. There's a few minor details we need to work on. Most of it comes from focus mistakes, so we just have to keep reminding them everything's a performance. You're performing during practices, you're performing during games, and then competitions are most important, but overall you should practice performing every time we do a run.
One of the things about our creative setup this year, where we have the percussion behind the band, is the distance challenge. And that's always been an issue with percussion, usually because the pit has been up front. They'll want to play early because they're trying to watch drum major. You always try to play from what's farthest back. They can't hear in front of them. We have now a set player who has a metronome in his ear, and he's keeping time, and the percussion keeping time with him. The band has to listen back and play with the percussion instead of vice versa. Our drum major, Kennedy, has to react to what the percussion are doing, and sometimes conduct a little ahead or a little behind the beat, depending on where the band is, to make sure that they're playing in time. On Tuesday nights when we're in the stadium, we can really start honing in on that. I have a good background of that because of all my years playing tuba, and drumline was usually actually in front of us. So we had to play ahead of what we saw, because by the time we played what we saw, by the time it got up to the front, we were late. So we sometimes had to play a half a beat ahead, and we learned how to do that.
It's a lot of fun leading the band from the back of the field. In terms of tempo, I don't really have to worry about matching anyone, because as long as I have the metronome hooked up with my headphones and I'm locked in with that, they just listen to me and I don't have to worry about anything.
So I went to Jacksonville State University that has a really good marching band, and I was a saxophone major and a tuba minor and almost a percussion minor. I took trombone lessons, I took bassoon lessons, trumpet lessons, because I knew I'd be a better teacher if I was a better player on those instruments. I got my master's at Vandercook College in Chicago. I learned a lot there. I took flute lessons about 6 years ago. Just finished my EDS at Auburn online, and received a 4.0. I was marching in a drum corps in the Phantom Regiment. I was a contra player, they call them tubas now, and I was a backup drum major. Well, when I marched for the Phantom Regiment in 1984, I also taught visual for them in 1990. So we paid a little bit to go, but what we got out of it was phenomenal. Nowadays, with social media and phones and everything, they're staying connected. We were truly in our own world. We had no idea where we were, what day it was. We rehearsed to get better, and we had a goal in mind, and we worked together as a team. We traveled all over the country. It was truly giving up your whole summer, but I still use some of the things that I learned there.
Just got the file from Scott. I'm hearing more of a metal thing, like Iron Maiden, Megadeth, Slayer kind of stuff. But also the mallet parts are coming to my head a little bit faster this go round. And we'll just kind of see as we go. He's already told me some of the things are going to get cut from the wind parts. So I've got to look into how I'm going to take those wind parts that he wrote, right there actually. Those parts and pull those down into the percussion. Okay, well, what if this kid plays cowbell with their right hand and mallets with their left hand, or güiro with their right hand, or things like that. And then we add the güiro in. So we get a composite groove going on, and then by the time we put it all together, so I'm kind of layering in the percussion sounds, and then here comes the band melody. something with their right hand, playing mounts with their left hand, and then there's melody there, and then here he adds another little alternate counter melody in the low brass, and then this long lyrical melody. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with that, but the marimbas are definitely going to be involved somehow, and maybe the bells with that longer lyrical melody, and then I'll add the drum sounds in last. Tempo, and I'm really enjoying it, and I like it. I'm just going to play it. But there's a quote from the opener, and I really like that because it's recapping all the original ideas. And then he actually sent me, we talked about this section being all mallets with just big band stabs of sound until as soon as it sustains there. And then we've got the final quote of Beethoven 5. And then there's just a little drum tag on the end, and I still haven't figured out yet how I'm going to quote Sonata Pathétique, but I think I'm going to try to work it in there somewhere.
So we've completed the opener and the ballad, and we performed those this past week, and we'll perform those again this week. And next week we'll finish the drill for the closer. We're going to work on that tonight, and then we'll be working on the music because next week we'll perform the whole show before our exhibition on the Tuesday after.
Yeah, so my section is doing great currently. We're still working on getting the music down. So it looks like this show might be a winner of all three competitions. I'm really excited. Our section just got some small things they need to work out, and then we'll be good.
This year we're real proud of our trumpets and especially how far the rookies have come. Marching well, playing well. We're just working on getting the closer memorized. We've got the opener and the ballad. We have a lot of fun, the bus rides at the competition especially. We're excited.
We've got the opener down. We've almost got the ballad down. We're still working on the finale, but we'll get there soon. We're really strong marching this year. It's going to be a great year.
So being guard captain, I mean, it's not much different than just being on the team regularly. Just a couple more responsibilities. I could say communication is definitely important. Forming like bonds with every single individual on the team is definitely important because everyone has a different way of learning and like communicating. Knowing that you're like the role model, everyone's looking up to you, like it's even better because like you're setting that example, which is good.
So this year I got to play the trombone solo with a kind of electric guitar kind of feel to it. Practice for many hours.
So our exhibition went really well. I feel like our show has progressed so far since band camp happened. One of the highlights was probably the woodwind feature. We've worked so hard on that, making sure that it stays up to tempo, doesn't drag, and it's really paid off so far. I think this competition is going to be really, really awesome for us.
Every rehearsal that the kids have, there are 2 chaperones minimum on hand. Make sure that the kids are safe. We'd like to have 8 chaperones for every game too, whether it's a home game, away game, contest. We really want the directors to be able to focus on what they're doing with the children, with the music, with the drills. Now, Mr. King is wonderful. He puts together a very specific, detailed itinerary, but of course we have to be flexible because every venue is different. We have a checklist. We make sure every child is on the bus with everything that they need.
Last Saturday practice, we really grew. We really expanded our show. I really believe we can take home first place, take home the big trophy today.
We've been putting in a lot of hard work for the competition season, and we're about to see where it'll get us.
So today's our first competition of the season. Guard as a whole, I think we're doing pretty decent. For the ballad, we just need to work on a couple things. We just need to get some cleaning done. The freshmen, they're still adjusting to everything.
Yesterday we had our last little performance before today, and it was our best performance yet. So I really think we're gonna sell it. I just hope everyone keeps their energy up. We have a really good shot.
Today's show, Beethoven Takes a Trip. Drum Major Kennedy Blanks, is your band ready? Starrsville High School, you may enter the field for competition. Ladies and gentlemen, the Starrsville High School Panther Pride. Shout out to Scott King and Bert Groover. Thanks for all the time you both put in. In Class 2A, Starr's Mill High School. Drum major. 1. Percussion. 1. Color guard. 1. Band. 1. 1. 1. Forward overall 1. Percussion, best in class, AA. Starr's Mill. Best overall drum major with a score of 96. Starr's Mill. The top musical score, regardless of classification, is awarded the Norman Paget Award. This year's winner is Starr's Mill. Grand champion of the Bowden Invitational for 2019 is Starr's Can I have $1? Shout out to Chapel Hill Band Moss. Oh, listen, as you're going out, all of our snacks and goodies are half price. Please load up. All Cherokee Bluff band members, please report to the field. Cherokee Bluff band members, all of you, report to the field. Don't go after the pink popsicle, LOL, not down there. You are thicker than a Snicker.
What do you guys do?
Kelly Ortiz Morales, don't fall.
In Olympic judging, you have 5 judges, and you drop the high and the low score. Each band judge would judge music, and then would judge visual, and would judge overall effect. Each judge is responsible for judging everything, basically, that's on the field, what they see, what they hear, and how it relates to each other. For instance, this one judge thought we were 39 out of 40 in music, 27 out of 30, and 28 out of 30. And 95 on this one, 39, so that's 1 point for perfect music score. Really like the color guard and the concept. So the end of the show, it's the hardest drill we have. We have adjusted some things. And then the percussion score, these are out of 40, 30, and 30, so those are really good scores.
I like seeing everything coming together and winning. We won our last competition, hoping to win this one. Right now, the humidity's been really high. It's been making my fingers kind of sweaty, and it makes it more difficult to play because my fingers are moving so fast on the keys that it could slip.
The percussion stuff, thrilled with how they're doing. They came second in the whole show last weekend and won their class, and helped win the overall grand champion package. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get to celebrate some more.
Been trying to keep pushing, keep them putting in effort and wanting to get better, because you can't really rest on what you've done that one contest. The flag toss has been fun. That's been a lot of work. It's on me. It's really not on Nicole. Nicole's catching it every time.
It was amazing winning our first competition. Like, normally it happens much later on, but like right off the bat, that was an amazing feeling. Guard, we still have like a lot more to work on though, especially in the ballad. But we're getting there, working really hard.
So I have the Trumpet Solo this year. It's very lyrical, pensive, sort of sweet sounding sound. We've got some effects on it. We've got reverb, we've got delay. I love playing it. It's so much fun.
All right, y'all notice the warm-up 2008 shirt, the undefeated year? Yeah. Okay. So I will tell you, you march tons better than they did, and you play better. And it's a better show. Wow, Berto's that one's really good. The metaphones are even stronger on your feature. Good. Visually really good, guys. Overdo these movements. You don't want to be called out, not getting into it. Good percussion. That's really cool. Out of step. Upper body moving. Good, Julie. There we go. Bring it back in. Good. Upper body move. Good alignment. Good. Wendy, very good. Oh! We'll fix that today. Yeah. Wait. Think it after the time. All right? Try to turn it a couple times. Good. Good job. Good job of maintaining this hold, too. Check these intervals out, brass. Starting to open up around here. Wow, big right there. And big back here. See it? Look at that, guys. You can't do that. This is really good, but you're overplaying now. Good. That's much better, Hilliard. Look at this. It's not effective if the rest of the box is not tight, guys. All right. Again, they're going to call people out for not getting into this, guys. They're looking for people now. Let's not do this. You hear me pick your department, you see here all the things that are really, really good? Okay, continue again. Yes. All right, so what happens is you do really well at the beginning and you set the judges up, or then they have an expectation of what it's going to be. And then they almost overreact when anything not perfect happens. Every one of those mistakes was not skill mistakes, right? You agree? We fixed all of that. It's in context, thinking ahead, set, and concentrating.
Worst nightmare. We got a flat tire on the way down to a competition.
All of a sudden, on the way down there, it goes boom!
The Panther Pride are directed by Scott King. The assistant director is Bert. Staff include Catherine Sebi and Bill Saddlemeyer. Their show title is Beethoven Takes a Trip, and includes the musical selections Furley's, renamed Carolina, Piano Sonata No. 8, Ballad a la Daisy, and Symphony No. 5 Finale. Drum major Kennedy Blanks, is your band ready? your best in class for 3A color guard, and best in class 3A drum major, and your best in class 3A band, and your best in competition color guard, Starr's Mills. And the award I think people are really waiting to hear. We are proud to announce the inaugural Sound of Freedom Marching Band Competition Grand Champion is Starr's Mills. Congratulations to all bands participating today. Band records, you may pick up your score sheets on which are firm and out near the 50-yard line.
Caption show splits up the responsibilities of the judges. Biggest difference is there's no scores dropped, so every score counts. This is just music, so there's one judge judging just music performance. How well do we play? That's 6 points for perfect. Music performance, tone quality, intonation, technique, and musicality. Also, there's 2 judges that are just judging visual performance, so that's how well do we march. So individual technique, so that's individuals, how well they look, how well they stay in step, 97 out of 100, and then how the group looks. Okay, we like lots of comments because that way we can get better. And then there are 2 effect scores. There's a music effect and a visual effect. So a music effect is the top box is what we're asking the students to do musically, and the bottom score is what they are achieving musically. So you want those scores to be pretty close. So 95 out of 100, 95 out of 100. So that's a great score. And then the visual effect, a 93 and a 92. Those are really close. This is exactly what we wanted. In that show, we played better than we marched, and we actually are concentrating more now on our marching, trying to get that score up so that we can get better. Than the last contest is a caption. We have lots of things in our show that I feel like a judge cannot listen and look and react at everything that we have in there. I think caption is much better for us because we're going to get the credit we deserve.
We started having so much issues when we started trying to toss our flag. So we spent about 30 minutes and we had to rework almost our entire show. The energy was so amazing from everyone. It was so great. And the way everyone just worked through the wind, it was just amazing.
A brick wall about 4 feet, 5 feet high, and I'm standing right in front of it, so all I hear is a bunch of slapback. So basically, I'm taking the mix that we did in the our stadium, and I'm just tweaking it a little bit, hoping that it's making it up and over that wall. Yeah, it came out really, really good. I'm really happy with the mix.
So we were actually able to win both our first 2 competitions, and it has just been amazing, and I knew we could do it. I really trusted the band this year, and I really think we're going to get that perfect year and finally get a banner of all those 3 wins. I have the biggest amount of faith for this band, and I'm so proud of them. The seniors are able to leave their legacy on the band.
So with marching band, there's a lot of movement going along. So with that, we really need to stretch, and it's very important that we stretch, just to prevent injury and to make sure all of our marchers are able to perform to the best of their abilities.
Starting the 8th note at Metro Forte. Okay, the melophones that were talking, did you hear me at all? Okay, don't talk. Do it again. The second 8th note is softer than the trumpet for some reason. I need you to keep pushing that in. Do it again. It sounds like you're crescendoing, and then you don't, and then you do.
Mr. King's real particular with our technique and everything about our show, really. So oftentimes he'll have us rep a move over and over and over again, and it's real hard in the moment. It's real strenuous, but that's the best way to learn it. It really is a lot. Muscle memory is a huge part of learning the show.
That was better. Get behind somebody. It's either all or nothing, guys. Do it again. I need some more crescendo. You're still not crescendoing enough. I like it. Gotta be more.
Approximately about $75,000 to $80,000 a year, and I'm in control of collecting and dispersing the funds for the band, and my job is to make sure we stay in budget. After 10 years, this is the year that we get to write the big check for the uniforms. We get new uniforms starting next year.
The band chaperones have to go through the visitor's gate.
Right.
No, but they're riding in the truck with that.
Yeah, just go in, and I'm sure they're not gonna make you get down the truck, go around. But we'll see.
I've been with most of these kids since 5th grade or 7th grade, so we've got a long history going. I'm one of the main chaperones. I haven't missed but one game, and our main responsibilities are helping the kids with everything that they need. We are lovingly referred to as the Feather Fairies by the kids.
Starr's Mill Band, it takes a village to help support the band with our concessions programs. We have to do more than just sell. We have to solve some problems. Recently our fryer needed some repair. We needed a new regulator. Put that regulator on the fryer. Fryer oil just wasn't getting hot enough. Ultimately, we found out that we needed what's referred to as a high pressure regulator. And by the next game, we were up frying fries that the Starr's Mill concession is famous for.
like all hyped up around you. Student sections cheering, cheerleaders are doing their thing. And
Football games are really the highlight of the year for some people because everyone gets to dance around and have fun. So our favorites are kind of like Still Fly and Hey Baby. We love playing those, and it just gets everyone in the spirit. And it really solidifies people's relationships in marching band.
We have a lot of newsstand tunes this year.
We pride ourselves on being dual focused. We work on our show, competitive show, but we also support the football team and other athletic events here at the school.
1, 2, ready, go!
It's our last competition as seniors. Also kind of sad, but like I said earlier, I think we have a really good shot. We've already won the first two, and now we're heading into our third.
I'm really ready for it. Kyle over here predicted that we'd win all three earlier, and it's looking like it might come true.
The Lafayette competition would not allow video cameras. I utilized unused footage from last week's runs and combined them with my audio recording of this contest.
safety and security of our students, we must cancel finals performance tonight. Finals awards will be named based on preliminary performances. Starrsville High School. Drum major, 1. Color guard, 1. Percussion, 1. Band, 1. Drum major, first place, Starrsville. Percussion, first place, Starrsville. Outstanding music goes to Starrsville High School. Band, second place, Starrsville High School.
I thought you did a phenomenal job. You could not have done better, I don't think. Mr. Hoover and I started on this music, actually started talking about it in September. Now we've seen it perfected. We won music, that's 40 out of 100. But you need to be very proud of what you did today and last night. You're better than 08. You've definitely marched better, the whole show was better, you play better. And then 14, we won 2. We did a VOA show at the beginning. We could have won all 3 too. We're going to perform this show again next week at Riverdale, and we're going to perform it, of course, for senior night. On that day, too, we'll learn the fun show. We'll talk more about that when we get closer. So I can tell you, this is the best band that we've ever had here. We won the first contest and won music. Second contest we won and won music. In the third contest we were 0.15 away from winning and won music. Well, as you can see, we had a really good year. The students and the show really clicked.